Hey, everybody, on this episode, we are doing our playoff predictions all the way to the Cup final and Stanley Cup winner. Guess who we're picking to win the Stanley Cup? We're going to talk about Jack Eichel leaving Buffalo. We're going to talk about the game recap from the last couple of games. And we're going to talk about our contenders, pretenders, and our Sherrod or not candidate who you don't want to miss because we kind of miss him. And that's Fumble Puck. Enjoy. Welcome back, everyone. This is Fumble Puck with Ashley and Noah. We have just clinched the playoffs. Ashley, how are you feeling?
I'm happy we clinched. I'm not as happy with the game, but I'm very happy we clinched. And what Byron, Evans, and Luckinen line is. And I said after the second goal, I was like, Luckinen, you're next. And then he did it twice. I mean, when did it count? But he did do it twice.
I love Arturi Lehkonen, so I'm really happy.
Yes, you and my mom. I like him a lot too, but not as much as you and my mom.
And he's playoff gold, so we're about to see beast mode happen in like a week.
Good, because man, do we need it.
We need it. Do we ever?
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
How you doing? What's going on? What's up?
I'm doing okay. My allergies are really bad. So I keep getting these horrible allergy attacks. And I know they're allergies because it happens every year and I'm on medication for it. But my eyes are itchy. My throat hurts from postnasal drip. It's lovely. It's really attractive. What's up with you?
Oh, wow. I just booked my vaccine, actually.
Yay. When are you going?
So my first dose is May 31st.
Okay.
And second dose is September 20th.
How do you know your second dose before you go for your first dose?
Because they schedule it?
Oh, not here. Here you go for your first dose and then you get a paper that day saying what your second dose is.
Oh, no, they schedule both.
Oh, that's so weird. So here it's not like that at all. And what's interesting, though, is I got it and then my cousin got it the same day as me, but in Ontario, in Toronto. And I texted her saying, when's your husband's vaccine? And we both have it on the same day. Our second
Oh,
dose.
nice.
And our first, yeah. But it's 16 weeks apart. So, yeah. Which one are you getting? Do you know?
No, but it would be Pfizer or Moderna because it's from the vaccination center where the AstraZeneca is only done through pharmacies, I believe.
It's the opposite here. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, pharmacies here do Moderna only or AstraZeneca only, and very rarely, except when my mother went, do they do AstraZeneca at the vaccination clinics, unless it's specified as a 45 plus AstraZeneca site. But awesome. I'm glad you booked it. How was Mother's Day?
We kicked its butt, and everyone did. Revenge of Mother's Day was awesome. So my location wasn't as crazy as we expected. We were still busy, but it wasn't crazy. But what was crazy was the crowd out and about that day. So in Lansdowne Park in Ottawa, there were literally, I'm not joking, literally thousands of people walking around that day. It was Tulip Festival. And it was pre-pandemic. Everyone was out. No one was social distancing. It was crazy. So you figure if everyone's going out, not as many people are going to follow the stay-at-home order, obviously. And so if that's the case, they don't need to order in. So there was a lot of family dinners happening that broke a stay-at-home order. So it was quieter than last year. But we kicked its butt, so it's great.
Well, that's good. That's really scary how no one was social distancing. That's really scary.
It was the craziest thing. I had trouble getting into work because the traffic was so bad.
Oh, God, that's not good.
Yeah, thousands of people. It was nuts.
I actually went somewhere yesterday. I noticed that IGA was really quiet. But where I went, there was there's flowers outside and it was packed with people. And I was so uncomfortable. I just ran inside the building, got what I needed and ran out. I was like, nah, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I wore 2 masks. I still can't do it. And I'm vaccinated. I'm terrified. Ugh.
I miss IGA. IGA is a good grocery store.
You don't have IGA?
I just don't think they have any around here where I am. It's very possible there's some around elsewhere, but I don't have one. But good grocery store. Yeah,
I also miss the real Loblaws, which is now Provigo. But
yes.
Ontario still has Loblaws.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so I kind of miss that. But actually the US, I believe, has IGA also, which is kind of weird.
Weird.
Yeah. I think you're in Buffalo or something. I remember
Speaking of Buffalo, we have to talk about Jack Eichel afterwards and Sam Reinhart. Oh, my God.
I'm sure that'll be on your agenda. It is.
It is. I'm excited about this because we're going to get Jack Eichel next year. This is me being overly optimistic, and I'm going to go for it.
You've joined my train.
Yeah.
The Eichel season train. Woohoo! All aboard. Yep.
But
Love
before we get to Jack Eichel, we've got to talk Montreal.
Okay.
And I've got some neon knee-jerk reactions for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I was born ready, except for this. Yeah.
We'll find out. Okay. First up.
Yeah.
After he had gotten 1 point, I put down Jake Evans.
I really like Jake Evans. I really do. I think we've spoken about him before, have we not? I feel like we have.
Yeah, but definitely topical today.
Yeah, no, I'm a big Jake Evans fan. I told you on the last podcast, I believe, or 2 podcasts ago, that I think he could replace Phil Deneau, and ho-hum, look what he did tonight. I know it's just 1 game sample size, I know. However, quite good, my little Jakey.
He had a very good game. I'm very happy. I think, like, where we were talking about how Caden Primo doesn't look like he's an NHLer yet, Jake Evans just looks like an NHLer. He should stay with the team like when the playoffs hit, he should not lose his roster spot.
I agree. I think that 3rd, 4th, whatever line it was tonight should actually be in the playoffs together because they had a lot of chemistry, even though who knows, because every single period is a different line and every single shift is a different line. But yes, I really, really, really like Jake Evans. He gets like 10 hot chili peppers. Better?
Awesome. Okay, next up, James Neal.
So it's funny you bring him up because every time I see him, I'm like, I wanted him when he was with Dallas. Do you remember when he was with Dallas, like in 2009?
Yeah, he started with Dallas and then got traded to Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, so I was a big James Neal fan back when he was with Dallas. I remember I wanted him, and I really wanted, I think it was Chris Stewart. Those are the 2 players I really wanted that year. We got neither. Yeah, but I really, 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 really like James Neal. He's a little bit of a dirty player, but I just think he always scores goals. Like he had like a really, really good year. He had like 40 goals when he was with Pittsburgh, and he had 27 the year I liked him, and that was in 2009, 2010. And I really wanted him to join the Habs.
Yeah, he was a very, very consistent minimum 20 goal scorer until he got to Calgary.
Pretty much, yeah.
Then he got traded for Milan Lucic. That sucks.
I can't believe Lucic is still playing. But yeah.
I think he's kind of accepted his role now, right? Like the first couple of years when his contract was in and he was bad, everyone had a really hard time with it because it was awkward, right? And now he's just kind of accepted that he's a 4th liner and he sucks. And I think he's probably happier now.
Maybe. He's not going to be in the playoffs, though. So.
No, he's not. But he's already got a cup, so I guess, he's fine.
That's true. I still have not watched footage of Boston winning the Stanley Cup. I can't bring myself to do it.
Okay, next up. Are you ready?
Yes.
Jake Allen.
I would keep him. I think we need him as a backup, but I think he needs to be a backup and not play like 75 games in 20 weeks. Like, it's ridiculous. I understand why we're playing him. I really don't want him to go to Seattle. I really don't. I really think we need him. And let Primo get 1 more year or 2 more years. We really need Jake Allen. He's been solid. I mean, lately he's been playing kind of but I'm sure it's because he's exhausted because, well, who on our team isn't exhausted except for the ones who are injured and not playing? And Paul Byron, apparently. Paul Byron was not tired at all tonight. But
he was great. Oh, yeah, vintage Byron.
Sorry?
Vintage Byron.
Yes, he was vintage Byron. He was Lord Byron tonight. It was great. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. All right.
And
next.
then last but not least, Josh Anderson.
Oh, I love Josh. I can't say anything bad about him, but he like falls way too much, and he's just always on his ass. Have you noticed that? He falls a lot.
Yeah, and have you seen his analytics?
No, but I'm assuming they're not very good, and I believe it.
Yeah, so analytics aren't everything. Of course, there's context that matters. He does have goals. But to say they're bad would be an understatement. He's like one of the worst forwards on the team analytically. Like he gives up chances left, right, and center. He drags his line.
Really?
Yep.
I think he's injured. If I'm going to be honest with you.
No. We can't use that with him anymore. At some point in time, he's got to actually do the things that he's supposed to do. You know?
Right, but I think he's injured. I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm being honest. We'll see who shows up in the playoffs, which Anderson shows up, but I do feel like he might be a little bit injured. I don't know. Tonight he got injured because he hurt his leg. What happened to McDavid tonight, by the way?
Oh, he got his hand hooked on someone's stick. Like it looked like it got like pinched between someone's stick and his stick. He's fine. It was like when you slam your finger in a door.
Oh, I thought maybe he elbowed himself or something. Okay.
But yeah, so like Josh Anderson as a whole, if you look at his season,
yeah,
it's okay.
You know,
it's not something you want to invest 7 years in.
Okay, he's also still young. He's only 26, 27.
That's not young.
Well, to me, it's young. I feel like a grandmother.
Most NHLers are out of the league by 30, right? Like it's rare for someone to play into their 30s now.
Yeah, they're all on our team.
Yeah, literally.
Do you know Gallagher's like 29 or something? It's crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I remember he was turning like 21.
His contract could be very bad in the back half of it.
Who's? Gallagher's or Anderson's or both?
Both.
Yeah, well, Price's, Weber's, we have all the bad contracts.
Weber's will be fine because we can move it in like after next year.
Can we?
His salary drops. So like he's only getting paid $1 million. So you send him to like an Ottawa Senators who need to hit the cap floor. He's like the perfect fit.
Okay, we'll see what they do.
Like Carey Price's contract is way more cumbersome than Shea Weber's.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. So we have
a lot of people on Habs Twitter today were arguing about Price. It was entertaining. Did you see it?
I did not. I saw your arguments about Kakaniemi, but I didn't see your. What's that noise?
That was me pulling a chair over to me.
Oh, my chair made the same. No, my chair made the same kind of noise before. I was like, why is my chair farting noises? It's not me.
I wasn't farting.
No, neither was I, but my chair sounded like it was. No, I didn't see your Carey Price discussion. What was it? That you'd send him to Seattle? Well,
I didn't engage in the conversation because I don't like getting roasted. But it was about, I stand by Carey Price no matter what. Everyone would have made that decision to re-sign him at the time. And I was like, that's not really true. A lot of people were saying not to sign him, Like it was pretty mixed back then.
Who was saying that?
Oh, someone on Twitter. I don't want to name them. Okay. I don't want people like hopping on and going nuts,
Okay, that's fine. I thought it was like an insider or something.
No, it was a random fan.
Oh, okay. I was totally pro Price over Halak. I thought Halak he reminded me of like Kasich and how he's just like never actually in position. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's just kind of flailing around, but gets really lucky. That's kind of how Halak goalied, I found. So I was way more pro Price. However, I don't think I would have signed him to such a big contract. 10 million is a bit excessive. 7 million would have been okay.
We were the first team to ever do that, right? So we were the pioneers for the league, and the league took notice, and it's never going to happen again, right? There's him, there's Bobrovsky, and there's Vasilevsky, and that's it. No goalie's ever getting a contract like that again. It's just not going to be a thing.
Yeah, well, never say never, but I agree with you.
At least Vasilevsky's 9.5, I think, right? I was looking up some stats yesterday. He's in the top 10 career save percentages of all goalies. He's good.
He's unbelievable.
He's also got a great team around him, which helps, obviously, but he is actually good.
Well, look at what happened to Braden Holtby. That's my example.
Yeah, he sucks.
Well, he does now. He did it in Washington.
Yep. Maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe he's always been bad. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I've never been a big Braden Holtby truther, so I wasn't surprised when that happened.
I love Braden Holtby. I'm a big fan of his. So
is it because of his name?
No, I like the name Braden though, but no.
Yeah, it just kind of rolls off the tongue. Braden Holtby.
Okay, enough of the name joking. Name joking.
Yeah. On the podcast Puck Soup, which is Greg Wyshynski, Ryan Lambert, and Sean McIndoe, they played this game one time called Finnish hockey player or Star Wars character, and they'd say a name and you'd have to guess if it was a Finnish hockey player or a Star Wars character, because all Star Wars characters' names are vaguely Finnish.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I would probably get them all wrong, but that's okay. I still can't even pronounce Jesse Pool Party there, whatever his name is.
Puljujärvi.
Yeah, it doesn't come off my tongue very easily. Him.
Puljujärvi.
Puljujärvi. I get it. Can't say it.
Weird.
No, they were just saying it. It sounded strange on the broadcast tonight, and I was like, that's not how I pronounce it. And then I realized
Dan Robertson was saying Yessa too. I don't know if his name is Jesse or Yessa. That's a good question I need to look into, but I noticed him saying Yessa. So now I need to do homework now. And
then I got confused and I was like, who's he talking about?
I actually am a big believer in properly pronouncing players' names. Yeah, and so it caught me off guard when he said yes. I'm like, I need to figure this out now and call him the right thing.
Me too. What's his name? Andre K-A-S-E, but it's not Case. It's like
Cachet.
Yeah, Cachet. It also doesn't make sense. I guess it's Czech, I'm guessing. But his name too, all those weird names throw me off. In hockey, you learn them all.
Do you hear what happened to him tonight?
He got injured. I don't know what happened though.
Yeah, his first game back from injury, he got injured again. This guy can't stay healthy.
And he's really good.
Well, he's okay. He's not really good. He had like one good year, and then he never was healthy ever again.
Well, that sounds like a lot of players in the league, so it's too bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we had some games. We had the Toronto game the other day, and we had the Edmonton game that just finished as we record this. Talk to me about the Toronto game.
Can I decline?
No, because we're going to be talking about playoffs in a bit, and we're going to have to do this anyways.
Oh, it's not fair. That sucked. It sucked a lot, and I mean, we actually put up a really good fight and then lost, and I was not happy. I was crabby Ashley after that game. It sucked. I don't like, you know what? I think if Evans, Lehkonen, and Byron, I'm going to call them the Bell line, which I came up with before they announced it on the broadcast.
I was going to say, they said that on the game.
I know, but I came up with it before they said it. I just didn't have time to tweet it because I was texting my mother. So I couldn't tweet it fast enough. But the Bell line just works. It's fast and whatever. Or the Canafin line. That's your other choice. Which one do you prefer? Canafin or Bell?
What is Canafin?
2 Canadians and a Finn.
I don't like that.
Okay. So the Bell line. If they could do that against Matthews, that would be great.
Is Evans Canadian?
Yes, he's from Toronto.
Oh, right. He's from Toronto. I knew that.
That's funny because I looked that up too. But yes.
Because he went to college, so you just assume he's American, right?
Exactly. But no, he's Canadian from Toronto. So I'm thinking if they can do that against McDavid, that would be wonderful. Doubtful, but wonderful. If Danault can't go.
So if Danault is hurt and can't go, there's no choice. They have to be that team. Like they have to be that line. There's no choice.
You know, I'm okay with him doing that even if Danault can go.
Yes, but the trick to that is, the Danault line can do it consistently. You know that the Evans line did it once. If you're hopping into playoffs where you need momentum right away, do you chance it with the Evans line or do you go with the Danault line?
Depends if Danault's healthy, but I think it also one line has to go against their other line, so I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
So one of them, and it depends on who their line matching with and whatever. So. It's a mess. It's just a mess.
I'm going to make you do playoff predictions afterwards, by the way.
Oh, awesome. You better tell me who's playing who because I don't know them off at all. So.
I am ready to do that. Almost all the races are set already, so that's good. There's not going to be too much movement in the standings.
So I have a question. Are they going to cancel Vancouver and Calgary's games? Because who cares?
No, because they make revenue on the ads.
Right, but they have to start the playoffs faster.
Well, the playoffs are going to happen regardless. That revenue is going to be locked in. If you can make more money, you're not going to say no to it, right?
So then we're not going to start playing until after their games?
Sounds like it.
I mean, I'm down for that. Our team needs a break. We need to practice. I'm so down for that. I found not to... I really have a beef with the NHL schedulers here. Again, I think I said this last week, but I don't care. I'm going to say it again because I'm angry. The Habs missed 1 week, and they had 4 games to make up. They snuck 4 games into a day, okay? Because we got 1 extra day. That's it.
Yeah.
The Vancouver Canucks missed 3 weeks, I understand, but they had less games to play. They get an extra week. They're not even in the playoff race right now at all, period. They're out. And, I mean... all the other teams have all their games spread out over that week because they have to play Vancouver. We didn't, so whatever. Why didn't they just reorganize our games in that week? Wouldn't that make more sense?
Yes.
It's really, again, I'm not trying to give the Habs an excuse for an out because I'm pissed, but it's insane. And somebody on Twitter was fighting with me about it. He's like, well, we all had to play the same amount of games. I'm like, I understand that. But what you don't understand is that not all the teams had to play that amount of games in such a short time like we did. Because we had so many games to make up. So we were playing 4 games a week for 5 weeks straight. Every week had a back-to-back. Every week had a game Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and then it was either Thursday or Friday. Every single week. Is that fair? No one else did that in the schedule.
You are 100% correct. I believe that this is just the name of the game this year, right? Like some teams are getting screwed, some teams are not getting screwed. And it's hard to do anything about it. That's one thing that I'm not letting it bug me because it's so out of our hands and so out of everyone's hands. It's just, it's just one of those things.
I know. It just pissed me off. I just don't think it's fair. And honestly, I want us to get a full week to practice. Imagine having a practice. Like, what's a practice? The Habs players don't know. They haven't practiced in months. Like, it's insane. We got 1 practice. Remember how we had 1 practice Monday night and then we had to play Tuesday night right away? Do you remember that?
Yep. We could really use the practice.
Uh-huh. and maybe learn some schemes and stop jumping and chasing every 5 seconds.
But so dumping and chasing worked well enough with the game tonight against Edmonton because the Evans, Lekin, and Byron line, that bell line, was awesome and it worked.
Yes.
But did you notice in that game how no other line did anything?
Yes.
The only other name that stood out to me, the only other player that stood out to me in that game that was like I found noticeable was Ben Sherratt.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way. Like he was involved in the play, he was active, like I wasn't scared when he went out for overtime. I was like, oh, okay, like I get it. Like they're trying to reward him for playing a good game, But where was everybody else? Where was Nick Suzuki? Where was Kotkaniemi? Where was Caulfield? Where was, all of them? Stahl, Perry.
I noticed Stahl, Perry, and Caulfield tonight, actually. But I also noticed Romanov, and not in a good way, and Merrill.
I've been saying since before the season started that everyone is overrating Alex Romanov. He's going to be a good NHLer. He'll be a second pair guy, but like offense will die on his stick. He's not the guy. Like everyone's like, oh, he's an untouchable for me. That's insane to me.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not impressed with him lately. Like, I really like Romanov as a player, but lately he's horrendous. I think he's been on for the last 12 goals straight. Like, it's just been him and Merrill. I don't understand what's happening here. He needs to take a seat and watch. Like, I really hope he's not on Wednesday night and they just let it, or afternoon. So what's this 5 o'clock game? What kind of crap is this? And just let him watch and just see what's happening. That's another thing. What kind of stupid scheduling is 5 p.m.? What?
It's ridiculous.
So stupid. And the best is Calgary's playing every 3 days. Excuse me? We're playing every day and they're playing every 3 days? Like, whatever. Ugh, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs.
We clinched in this game. We got it to overtime, which got us that point. How funny was that overtime and that both teams were skating back and forth, like out of the zone. And then it was just like, okay, there's a moment for McDavid. Let's just put this one to bed. And like, as soon as McDavid got the puck on his stick, the whole planet knew we were done.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty sad. But did you hear the collective exhale of Montrealers, like when they tied it up? I did. Did you hear it?
Yeah, and when the clock ended for regulation, how happy the bench was.
Yeah, it's like, really, boys? Now you actually
we did it. We got a loser point.
Actually, I was praying I was like, just get to overtime. I don't care. Just get to overtime. Like, I don't care what you have to do. Just get there. Yeah. So when Evans and Byron started overtime, I was like, no, it's Evans and Caulfield. What are you doing? But
so now that we're in the playoffs, we're locked in. We're good to go. And we have our injured players coming back for the start-ish of the playoffs. Yeah. How are you feeling about a playoff series against Toronto?
Okay. I don't like Toronto. I hate Toronto. I think Toronto can definitely outscore us because they have talent, like in spades. It's insane. I really don't think their defense is that great, and I really don't think their goalies are that great. Our problem is we can't score. So that's our issue. If we can get back to the first 10 or 15 game Habs when we were scoring like 5 or 6 goals per night and leading the NHL, remember how fun that was for like a week and a half? Yep. If we can get back to that, I think we can take them in 4.
So what's your prediction for this series?
I mean, my homerism prediction or my actual prediction?
Your actual prediction, the one you're betting on.
Oh, I don't want to do this. Montreal versus Toronto. Okay, I'm totally going to go homer here. Sorry. Habs in 6.
Habs in 6. You heard it here first. Not even a 7 game. Our leadership and grit is going to thump Toronto. Shea Weber will dummy Joe Thornton. Ben Sherratt will dummy Wayne Simmons. And I don't know, Josh Anderson will dummy Nick Foligno, his old captain.
And Cole Caulfield will outscore Matthews.
I think like if we win this series, and I'm knocking on wood, that would be my Stanley Cup.
No, I want a real one, but I'll take it. I think we could. I really think I would prefer to play Edmonton, not because I'm scared of Toronto. I'm really not. I don't think they're as good as I think they are. I think we're a very weak division. We wouldn't make the playoffs in any other division. We'd be fighting with St. Louis, and they'd still have more wins than us. No, they have 3 more games than us, or 2 more games than us.
So you don't think the Toronto Maple Leafs are a cup contender?
No, I don't. Do you?
Okay, I absolutely do. I've been saying it since the preseason, right? Like since the offseason. But that being said, I think Montreal is. I don't think we're out of this one. I think we have a good shot. I think we need to just play it right and We need our goalie to stand on his head.
Which Arrested Carey Price can do if he's not still concussed. But that concerns me. What's your prediction for this series?
There is no way I would utter the words Leafs win in public ever. So I'm going to say Montreal is going to win this series.
How many games?
I don't know. I'm not good at predicting games because I have no clue. I'll say 7.
Habs in 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Habs in 6, you're Habs in 7.
Yeah, and I just want to be right on that so bad.
So do I. I agree. This is like my bread and butter right here. Come on, babies. You can do it. I agree. I can't handle the thought of my neighbor's a Leaf fan. And he's always trying to he's very nice, but he always tries to rag on me. And I'm like, no, I'm not falling for your crap, man. He's like, I keep telling you about how shitty the Leafs are, but really they're so good. And I'm like, hey, you're making me nauseous. Anyways.
All right. And then the other series, which is most likely going to happen, is Edmonton versus Winnipeg. What do you think about that?
Edmonton in 5. You
think they crush Winnipeg?
I actually don't. I actually predicted Winnipeg to win the North. So Winnipeg has been on a landslide, though, of hell. So if they stay the way they are, I'm going to say Edmonton in 5, 100%. If Winnipeg was able to somehow find their game again, I would even say Winnipeg could sweep Edmonton. But it really depends on which Winnipeg team shows up.
I don't think Winnipeg is that good.
Really? I think they're great.
I think they have one of the best goalies in the league. Their defense is atrocious, and their forwards are good.
I think they have the deepest forward group of everyone.
I don't agree with that.
Who does? Toronto?
We are deeper. They just have a better high end.
Okay, that's possible. Yes.
Yeah. I think Mark Scheifele's overrated.
I love Mark Scheifele for his name. I wanted to draft him solely for his name.
So your official call, is it Edmonton or Winnipeg?
Depends which Winnipeg team shows up.
You have to call it. You have to pick now.
Okay, hold on. I don't like getting things wrong. Winnipeg, fine. Winnipeg in 5.
Okay, so Winnipeg dominates the Oilers. I like that. I'd be happy with that. And so then, based on your predictions, it would be Montreal versus Winnipeg. What does that look like?
Oh, ooh, ugly. I think we could take them.
Okay, so you're predicting Montreal to come out of the division as champions.
I'm a total homer, but yes.
Awesome.
What about you? You're saying Montreal.
I'll enthusiastically support that decision.
Okay, so Winnipeg and 5.
We're predicting Montreal's going to win the Stanley Cup is what we're doing, basically, right?
Well, I can't predict that.
Let's get out of our division so that we're not being super homers right now. Okay, it's not certain. It's very much up in the air. No, it is not. The Washington Capitals cannot pass the Pittsburgh Penguins. So Pittsburgh clinched. Yeah, so it is going to be... Oh, but the bottom seed can. Okay, yeah. So it's hard to say, but right now, if the playoffs started today, it would be Pittsburgh versus the Islanders, which is a rematch from a couple years ago, where Pittsburgh got swept.
Yeah, I don't know enough about this. I'm just going to go with my head and who I like better, and I think the Islanders are going to beat Pittsburgh.
Okay, this is where we're going to split because I'm picking Pittsburgh because I think the Islanders suck, and I think they've been riding goaltending, and they can't score for their lives.
I don't know. I don't watch enough of either team, so I just happen to like the Islanders more than Pittsburgh.
Okay, so you're picking the Islanders. I'm picking Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Cool. And then Washington versus Boston.
I really like the Capitals. My friend is going to kill me, but I think Boston can beat them.
I think this is going to be a really hard series to call. I think either team could win. I will give the edge to Washington.
I hope so.
Because of their MVP, Tom Wilson.
Does that stand for most valuable prick?
Most violent player.
That works. Or how about most violent prick?
So then your second round is going to involve Boston playing the Islanders. Who takes that?
Boston.
Boston leaves that division. Okay, cool. Mine would be Pittsburgh playing Washington. I'm going to say Crosby's out for revenge, and Crosby takes it, even though I would prefer to see Washington win because I love Ovechkin.
I love Ovechkin, too. I'm totally cheering for Washington. This is not my heart talking here. This is my, except for the Islanders, this is my, I still think, I don't know. I'm totally have no idea. Okay, next.
Carolina versus Nashville.
Oh, Nashville was winning tonight. Who ended up winning? Nashville's winning 5-0. I'm going to go with I don't know because I don't know any of these series. I don't watch any of these teams right now.
Carolina is first place in the league right now.
I know he is. They're crazy. I'm going to go with Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going to go like Carolina in like 4. They're going to dummy the Nashville Predators.
I'm going to say Carolina in 5, yeah.
And then this is like the best playoff series I could hope for outside of our division. Florida versus Tampa. I'm cheering for Florida so hard.
So am I. I love Quenneville. Yeah, I really hope Florida does it.
I just love that entire team. They're great and they're fun to cheer for because they're underdogs who never win. Like Barkov, Huberdeau might be the most underrated player in the league, I think. People always say it's Barkov. It's not. It's Huberdeau.
Huberdeau got injured tonight.
Shit. Well, I'm excited to watch that series. I think that's going to be one for the ages because Tampa Bay are like the villain now that they won last year.
Yeah, I want Florida to kick their butts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be Florida-Carolina.
Florida-Carolina, and then I think Carolina wins that.
I'm going to go with Florida.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. But Bobrovsky pulls it out and goes for it?
Yeah, he returns to Bob form.
Bob form.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, then next up, Vegas versus St. Louis.
Vegas, next.
Yeah, like St. Louis sucks. Jordan Binnington sucks. They shouldn't be in the playoffs, and they're going to get dummied.
Yeah.
But then this is another awesome series, Colorado, Minnesota.
Colorado.
I will agree with you, but I would love to see Minnesota win. I would like to see Minnesota get out of this division. They're my favorite team out of all of them.
Really? My favorite teams are Vegas and Colorado. I really like both those teams and LA, but LA's not playing.
I've always been a Minnesota fan. I have a very soft spot for them, so I'd be cheering for them. And I don't like the Avalanche because they're the Nordiques.
I know, but I really like McKinnon and Rantanen, and I really like all their players. And do you know that I get really confused between Landeskog and clearly I'm very confused. Landeskog and Arizona Coyotes captain. No.
Ekman Larson.
Yes, there we go. I think they're the same person.
They are not the same person, in fact.
They actually are, though. Did you know? They're like pokeroos again, see?
Okay, and so then the Stanley Cup final in the second round for you would be Vegas versus Colorado, which is like a cup final. Who do you think wins that?
I think Colorado.
Okay, so you have Colorado leaving the division. That's cool.
Yeah, who do you have?
I would think Vegas is due and they're going for it.
Again?
Yes.
All right.
So then it's tough because the rest is based on like reseeding. So you had Montreal. So Montreal's the bottom seed. Okay, obviously.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is. You had Boston leaving, right?
Yeah.
So there's 73. Carolina 80. So it's Montreal versus Carolina.
Oh God. No, I think I had Florida.
Oh wait, no. Vegas is technically ahead of them now.
I had Florida. Anyways, I didn't have Carolina. I had Florida.
Okay, that makes it easier. So then it would be.
From what I understand,
Vegas versus Montreal would be the next one.
From what I Colorado, but from what I understand, we are having them. Yeah, we have to play out. We're going out west. No matter who wins, doesn't matter. It's not reseeded. We're going out west. That's what I keep hearing.
I believe it's reseeded.
No, I believe it's not. That's why I believe it's a Montreal-Boston is a possibility of being a final. Okay,
so if that's the case, then it would be Colorado versus Montreal.
Oh, okay. And then Boston.
Who's going to win that one, huh?
Florida. I'm going to go with the Homer vote. Come on. Okay. Colorado for sure going to win that, but I'll say the Habs.
And then you've got Boston versus Florida.
I'm going to... it's like truculence versus sunny days. I think Florida can win that.
So you're saying the Stanley Cup final will be Florida-Montreal?
I'm not really thinking that, but I guess I am. Oh, God, this is being recorded for all posterity's sake.
That's why I wanted this on record so that we can both get laughed at the end of it.
I'm going to get killed at the end of this. Because this is a horrible, horrible job by me. This is not at all what I was trying to do. Oh, no.
So for me, it would be Montreal versus Vegas, and I think Vegas would stomp Montreal. But, I didn't say that out loud. And then it would be Carolina versus Pittsburgh. I think Carolina takes it. I think Carolina versus Vegas in the Cup final is exciting. Two of the best social media presences at the very least. And I would say that the Carolina Hurricanes take it and win the Stanley Cup.
Okay, well, somehow I have Montreal and Florida, which doesn't even make sense going after each other. And I'm going to go with Montreal wins it because why the hell not? This is all crap. And I don't think this is really going to happen. My prediction to win the Stanley Cup this year is the Colorado Avalanche.
So I'm going to pick Carolina. You're picking Colorado. That's cool.
Well, I picked us based on my stupid thing here, but in reality, I'm going to go with Colorado.
All right, so those are our playoff takes. I'm excited to review these later and see how we did in like a month and a half from now, 2 months from now.
Don't remind me.
And now a word from our sponsors. Hey, everyone. Life can be stressful, and if you want to make sure that you're doing great, do this one thing. Don't watch the playoffs. It'll ruin you. It'll give you gray hair or have your hair fall out. Symptoms may include nausea, headaches, vomiting, and a whole slew of other things you probably don't want. Playoff hockey, it's around the corner. So, once the playoffs are over and we head into the off season, things are going to be a little wild. Did you hear the Jack Eichel stuff today?
You texted me it, and yes, I did. An Eichel season!
He literally said, at the end of the day, my number one priority is Jack Eichel. Yeah, and he said, like, in 3 or 4 different ways, wherever I'm playing next season, I need to be better. Like, he kept saying wherever that ends up being. He kept saying he's not going to be, like, he basically said he's leaving. And then Sam Reinhart did the same thing, too.
Good for them.
Sam Reinhart was like, it sucks to always have to be rebuilding every single year, and it's going to suck particularly more turning 26 and starting a rebuild.
He's not wrong. The players want to win, man.
So,
I take Reinhart.
Both players are probably done in Buffalo, which you got to feel for Buffalo fans. Like, that's just the biggest kick in the crotch ever. But oh my God, like they're that's wild.
So who would you go after, Noah?
It would obviously be Jack Eichel, but I think both are great. Sam Reinhart's like top 10 in goals this year too. He's amazing.
Yeah, he has 25 goals. I would gladly take Jack Eichel on my team in a heartbeat.
Okay, would you trade Cole Caulfield for Jack Eichel?
No.
Okay.
But anybody else, yes. You?
But anybody else? I would. See, I said before Caulfield was my only untouchable, but now there's like a glimmer of hope. I'm like, maybe I would do it. But
him to center the passes to the Caulfield.
Yeah, but Eichel's so good that he can turn Victor Olofsson into like a 30-goal scorer.
But maybe he can turn Cole Caulfield into like a 70-goal scorer.
Like, what would Buffalo want from us?
Well, they need a center in return.
Yeah, so like Nick Suzuki has to go the other way. There's no way anything else is happening, right?
KK?
But if you're Buffalo, why would you say yes to that?
Because unlike you, a lot of people see potential in KK.
I hope I'm wrong, but after watching him the last couple of years, I just think like, and maybe he'll get there somewhere else, but I don't see him getting there here. Like I tweeted that out earlier. If Dominic Ducharme is back next year, you might as well just trade KK now because Ducharme sucks and he's never going to play him.
Well, I think Ducharme needs to go, but that's a whole other story. I don't like
he's Bergevin's guy, so like he's not going unless Bergevin is going. And
the chance of Bergevin going is?
Who knows?
Did you see Jeff Molson tweet how it was a long, hard road to get here or something?
Yeah, and it was made unnecessarily long.
I wrote that to him. I said, well, it didn't have to be such a long, hard road.
So like, there's a little bit of tease for off-season drama coming up with this whole Eichel thing that I'm going to be obsessed with for the next couple of months. But I'm going to try my best to not think about it and stay focused on the fact that we're in the playoffs. And playoffs are stressful and exciting, and I'm going to be a mess, but I'm excited for it.
Me too. So why can't we score? That's my question for you.
Because our players aren't good enough to score. It's hard to score a goal. You need to be very, very good.
Okay, but not all of our players can suck, like collectively.
So like there's two things to it. One is it's one of two things, I guess, was more what I'm trying to say. Either they don't have the skills, or they have the skills and they're not developing them. And like maybe the lack of practice is part of it, but I'm not really buying that because we've been missing the net for years now. But look at how many times we miss the net, and I keep going back to that because it's so flagrantly obvious. If you get the puck on net, some of those are going to go in. And how many times do we lose 1-goal games, you know?
Right.
Like, so let's look at our roster, right? Like I'm gonna pull it up and go person by person and say if they're like a good shooter or a bad shooter, right? And we're not gonna get very far into this before we realize the truth, you know? So first up on the list, you have Josh Anderson. He can score. Thomas Tatar. Not really.
Oh my God.
Toffoli. He can shoot, but he's not going to shoot like this ever again. Like, this is the 1 year we're getting it, so okay. Paul Byron, not really. Phil Deneau, no. Joel Armia, no. Arturi Lehkonen, no. Eric Stahl, you don't count. KK, no. Caulfield, probably. Suzuki, he can shoot, but we deploy him as the passer, so I don't know. Perry, no. Evans, no. Belzile, no. So we got 3 guys who can put the puck in the net, really?
Yeah, it's a problem. Did you hear that the French media was upset that there was not a French player playing tonight?
First of all, that stat is impressive and amazing that we've always had at least one Quebecois in the lineup. I think that's so cool. But the fact that we didn't have one tonight doesn't freaking matter. It's not like they sorry, it's not like we don't have any on the team. They just are injured right now. No, it's not like we're like, oh, screw that. Like you shouldn't be signing a random Quebecois player just to fill a spot on the team. That makes no sense.
Well, and the coach and the GM are French. Isn't that what matters more?
It's all ridiculous.
I agree. But
I think there's value to having a French coach. I think there's value to having a French GM. I'm a fan of that. I don't have to. It's not a hill I'm going to die on, but I'm a fan of it. But like, if the team was actively avoiding signing French players, I would have an issue with that. But for one game, it doesn't freaking matter unless you're worried about it losing the streak. But like, who cares? It's a dumb streak anyways.
Well, I agree. And yeah, I completely agree with you. So anyway.
Yeah, and like it's funny. Someone tweeted, I forget who it was, so I'm sorry for not saying the source, but they had a really great take. They replied underneath one of the RDS reporters who was whining about it on Twitter, and they were like, everyone who's complaining about that right now, how many of you own Phil Deneau and Jonathan Dwayne jerseys versus how many of you actually own Nick Suzuki jerseys, Carey Price jerseys, Shea Weber jerseys? Like, shut up,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it was great.
It's true. Like, I'm all for homegrown talent, except none of the elite ones want to play here. So,
well, there's also not a lot of elite homegrown talent anymore, right?
Anymore, but there was, and they didn't want to play here.
And who's the best Quebecois player in the league right now? Is it Huberdeau?
I love Huberdeau. He's great. Marchessault's pretty good too.
He's not even in the same conversation as Huberdeau.
I know. I'm saying he's not Huberdeau. Yeah.
It's not Giroux. It's not. He's from Ontario. He's
Ontario.
But he's still Quebecois, right?
I have no idea, but he's Franco-Ontarian. I know that.
Yeah, but who else is there? Like Lafreniere? No, doesn't count.
Well, yeah.
I think it might be Jonathan Huberdeau.
He's great.
Oh, Bergeron.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Patrice Bergeron is the best Quebecois player in the league right now.
Absolutely, and has been for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd take him on my team any day.
Oh my God, yeah, he's amazing.
He's so good.
All right, we've got our contenders and pretenders. I have some. Do you have some?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm just gonna dive in then. First up, contenders. Got to talk about it. Freaking Connor McDavid.
Yeah. He's
at 102 points now. Do you know what NHL equivalency points are?
No.
So it's a method by which they adjust everyone's stats for era. So like back in Gretzky's era, everyone scored a bajillion points, and in this era they don't.
Right.
What it does is it uses a formula to bring everything to the year 2000. So like if the average player scored 40 points and McDavid scored 40% above that, they take the average of the year 2000 and increase it by 40%, and that's what it would have been in the year 2000. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So they did the NHL equivalency of Connor McDavid's season this year, and it's the 4th best season in NHL history.
I'm not surprised.
The 2 above him are Wayne Gretzky and Wayne Gretzky. And then do you know who the best single season adjusted for points is in the history of the NHL?
Mario Lemieux?
Nope, but he's definitely in the top 10 a couple of times. It is Howie Morenz.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
His equivalency would have been 190 points in the year 2000.
Are you kidding me?
Whereas Wayne Gretzky's best season would have been 170.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's not a perfect science, of course, right? But it's a fun little stat. So anyone who's like, oh, Connor McDavid plays in a bad division, he's putting up numbers that Mario Lemieux never put up numbers that good.
But wait, Howie Morenz doesn't have that many points in games. I'm looking at his stats. How does that work?
So if you take his best, so it's his best season. If you take him, how far of a deviation he was above average, and then apply it to the year 2000.
But he only had a 51-point season twice. That's it.
Yes, and so that was absurd back in those times.
In 43 games.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, because it was in the 1920s, so yeah. That's crazy.
And then Howie Morenz, his son-in-law, was Boom Boom Geoffrion.
Yes, I know.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
So Connor McDavid is my first contender because honestly, it's incredible to watch and he's fun to watch. And I don't care that he beat us tonight because it was fun to watch.
He's amazing. Yeah, you're right. In that year, and one of his 51-point years, the next player in the league had 39 points.
There you go. Right.
Wow. Okay.
My second contender is John Tortorella. I want to wish him well, and I'm excited to see where he lands because he brought Columbus the best years of their entire existence, and I thank him for that because I love the Jackets, and he's great.
I think he's going to land in Buffalo.
I don't think they can handle him. I could see him going to Arizona. It would make sense to me.
I was kidding. Yeah, I'm thinking Arizona. Actually, yeah, I'm thinking Arizona too.
But so it's funny we mentioned that because my first pretender is the Arizona Coyotes for letting Rick Tocchet walk.
Yeah, what? Great. I know.
They probably don't want to pay him.
I would take him here. Does he speak French?
And then my second pretender of the week that sucks again, like he's on a streak of suck, is George Parros, specifically for the Joel Edmondson fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What did he do exactly?
Did you see the play?
No, I mean, yes, but no. What? He didn't do anything.
It's a total joke. Even, like, you know that when even elite fans are like, yeah, that's stupid. Like, you know, like when everyone on both teams agrees it was dumb, it was dumb.
I don't understand what he did. Seriously.
It was a dangerous trip.
Okay.
It's exactly the kind of play that can get somebody hurt. It might even get someone concussed.
Okay, but what about what they did to Kotkaniemi that game? TJ Brody, that was fine?
Oh, you can't concuss ankles, I don't think.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, and you can get concussed by getting tripped on the ice, but not by getting your head slammed into it.
No, that you can't. You're right.
Science.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Such a joke.
My fumble of the week is short and sweet because the reaction to it was spectacular, but It's Kevin Bieksa.
Yeah.
Did you see him on Hockey Night?
I did. You think he did that on purpose?
I don't know, but I'm sure after the cameras went off, Jennifer Botterill freaking ripped him. She was going to punch his face off. Like she was seething and it was awesome. And he's like, look, this is a game called hockey. Like, I'm surprised he didn't call her toots. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And I like Kevin Bieksa. I think he does a good job of doing the commentary and like his thoughts, but what the hell was that? No.
I like Kevin Bieksa for his entertainment factor. Yes. I don't think he's like particularly good at like his analysis. He's all right. You know, he's fine. I'll take Mike Johnson over him any day, you know? Oh,
I love Mike Johnson. He's the best.
Your Ray Ferraro just got signed by ESPN.
I did. That's not good for us. What are we supposed to do in Canada here, yo?
Yeah, I'm going to get ESPN.
I don't blame you. I saw that today. I was like, what? Very sad. Yeah.
If I could just get Mike Johnson and Ray Ferraro every day for the rest of my life, like inject that into my veins, it's awesome.
I really like Mike Johnson. He's my favorite. He's so good. If you ever want to come on the podcast, let us know. Hey.
Hey.
Or anybody who's listening wants to come on the podcast, let us know.
We'll take guests. Like, I would totally take a random fan as a guest. I don't care. Like,
yeah, me too. Right to us.
I would want you to just talk hockey with random people.
I think we should have a segment once every other week about that.
I like that. We should post that out and see who wants to hop on and talk with us.
Yeah. So if you want, message us, people. We're looking for you, Habs fans or hockey fans, but preferably Habs fans and not Leaf fans. No offense. Senators fans. Ooh. Yeah. All
right. We're rounding out the hour here. Do you have a hottie of the week? Someone who is Sherrod or not?
I do. I actually have a whole list to go off of. I made a list of people I haven't said yet. Go me.
Okay, good. I'm excited for this one.
So do you want current NHLers or not so current NHLers? That's your choice.
I will trust your judgment and I'll let you fire from the hip.
Okay, we're going to go with ex-NHLers this week.
Okay.
Sheldon Surrey.
He is a dreamy human being.
He really
Didn't he win like hottest NHLer one year or something?
He should. He's beautiful.
He is. And Jerome McGinley ruined his career by fighting him twice.
Yeah.
Remember he broke his hand punching Jerome McGinley?
Did he really? Jerome McGinley of all people?
Twice, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because he played for Edmonton after Montreal, right? So it was the Battle of Alberta.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He was great.
Sorry?
He was great. Although imagine if we kept him over Andrei Markov. That would have been a disaster. Markov was awesome.
Yes, he was. But I really, 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 really find him adorable and hot. Like, he's a good-looking dude.
He is a good-looking dude.
Yeah. So
you have chosen someone who's definitely sheer hot.
Yes. All right. Well, everybody, as you know, Noah has a moment in hospitality, so go for it, Noah.
Well, Mother's Day is over. We're back to a little bit of normal. Rumor has it that Ontario is aiming now for a June 2nd opening. Yeah, which will be patios for us. So when the time comes, if you feel comfortable, follow the rules when you go out and support your local businesses.
As always, you can find us on all social media platforms at Fumble Puck Pod, except on Facebook, where it's Fumble Puck Podcast. Follow us, give us a listen, hit subscribe on your podcast app. That way you can always know when we release a new episode, usually Sundays and Thursdays, sometimes Mondays and Fridays, sometimes, well, just whenever we can. But thank you for listening. We love it. We hope to get some feedback, and go Habs, go.